The person sitting across from you in that meeting, the one who always seems to win, who always comes out ahead, who always has the room leaning in their direction, they are not smarter than you. They are not harder working. They are not luckier. They are playing a game you were never taught existed, and they are counting on you to stay in the dark forever. What you are about to discover are the hidden rules of influence that the powerful have quietly passed down for centuries. Rules buried in history, confirmed by psychology, and quietly practiced in boardrooms, relationships, and political chambers around the world today. Some of what you will hear will make you uncomfortable. Some of it will change how you see every interaction you have ever had. But none of it, not a single word, will be something you can afford to unsee. Let us begin with the first game, the one that starts before you even open your mouth. It is called framing, and it is the quiet art of shaping how people interpret reality before they get a chance to think for themselves. Psychologists have studied this for decades, and the findings are alarming in their consistency. When a surgeon tells a patient that a procedure has a 90% survival rate, the patient is likely to agree. When a different surgeon tells a different patient that the same procedure carries a 10% chance of death, the patient hesitates. Same information, entirely different emotional reaction. The most powerful people in any room understand that whoever controls the frame controls the conclusion. They do not argue the facts. They arrange the facts in a way that makes their preferred outcome feel like the only logical one. If you have ever walked away from a conversation feeling like you agreed to something you did not intend to agree to, you were framed. The second game is far more personal and far more dangerous because it targets something you were taught is a strength. It targets your empathy. There is a behavioral pattern that researchers have studied extensively in high-influence personalities, a tendency to mirror the body language, speech patterns, and emotional energy of the people around them. This mirroring creates an almost instant feeling of connection. You feel understood. You feel seen. You feel like this person is somehow just like you. And in that moment of warmth, your guard comes down. What makes this so precise is that it happens below the level of conscious thought. The person across from you shifts their posture the way you shift yours. They use the same words you use. They match the pace of your voice. And by the time the conversation is over, you trust them in a way that took no time at all to build. The question worth asking is, was that trust earned or was it engineered? The third game is the oldest one, and it has a name that almost every person has experienced without knowing it. It is called reciprocity, and the research behind it, led most famously by social psychologist Robert Cialdini, shows something deeply revealing about human behavior. When someone does something for you, your brain registers an obligation. Not a legal one, not even a conscious one, but a deeply wired social one, compelled to give something back. Powerful people weaponize this instinct with surgical precision. They offer small favors, unsolicited gifts, helpful gestures, and little acts of generosity that cost them almost nothing, all with the quiet expectation that you will feel indebted in ways that are disproportionate to what was given.
Thank you. This is very thoughtful. You're welcome. It's well-deserved. I appreciate it.
The gift was never really a gift. It was an investment in your obligation. Now here is where the game gets psychological in a way that most people never anticipate. The fourth move is called strategic scarcity, and it works not just in economics, but in every human relationship you have ever been in. When something seems rare, it becomes more desirable. This is not a matter of opinion. It is a pattern documented across cultures, age groups, and centuries of recorded behavior. The most influential people in any room apply this principle to themselves. They become selectively unavailable. They do not respond to every message immediately. They do not attend every gathering. They do not give everyone equal access to their time and attention. And the result is that people begin to compete for that access. What was once freely given is now perceived as precious. If you have ever chased someone who kept pulling away, or worked harder for approval that was inconsistently offered, You have lived inside this game. The fifth move is one that researchers in social psychology describe as one of the most underestimated forces in human interaction, and it goes by a deceptively simple name: silence. Most people are deeply uncomfortable with silence. It creates a kind of pressure that the brain urgently wants to relieve. And powerful people, the ones who have studied human behavior closely, know this better than anyone. When they ask a question and wait, truly wait, without filling the space, without offering a rescue, something interesting happens.
The projections are optimistic, but we can't ignore the risks.
The other person talks and keeps talking. And in the rush to fill the silence, they reveal things they had not planned to reveal. They over-explain, they negotiate against themselves, they give away leverage they were holding. The next time someone goes quiet on you in the middle of a high-stakes exchange, do not rush to fill the space. Because in that moment, whoever speaks first is not winning. They are surrendering. The sixth game is perhaps the most sophisticated, and understanding it will reframe almost every conflict you have ever been in. It is called anchoring, and it begins before the negotiation starts. Studies from behavioral economics show that the first number mentioned in any negotiation has an outsized influence on the final outcome. Even when that first number is completely unreasonable, the mind latches on to the first anchor it hears and uses it as the reference point for everything that follows. This is why experienced negotiators never accept the first offer. Not because it is necessarily bad, but because accepting it removes the psychological weight that came before it. Anchors work in conversations too, not just in contracts. The first thing said in a debate, the first accusation in an argument, the first version of a story that reaches someone, all of these shape how everything after them is received. Whoever speaks first, frames first. And now we arrive at the seventh game, the one that ties all the others together, and the one that the most quietly powerful people in history have relied on above all else. It is called patience. Not the passive kind, not the kind that sits and waits and hopes, the active, strategic, deliberate kind of patience that studies the room, reads the moment, and chooses its timing with the precision of someone who understands that most people lose not because they are outthought, but because they move too soon. History is full of individuals who had every advantage and squandered it by acting before the moment was right. And it is equally full of those who seem to have nothing, who waited, who watched, who prepared in silence, and then moved at exactly the right time and changed everything. Understanding these games does not make you a manipulator, it makes you informed. And being informed, in a world where these games are already being played all around you every single day, is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Thanks for watching. Please support by subscribing and click on the notification bell button. See you there next on the next one.